I'm on the phone with MDI head football coach Mark Shields as we get ready for a huge game against Madison on Friday night. And before we get on, we've got a slight little change in our broadcast schedule. We are airing the Red Sox game tomorrow, Friday afternoon, with a pregame starting at 3:50, first pitch at 4:38, and then the minute that the Red Sox game is over, we will be joining the online portion of the MDI Madison game on air. So that way you get the best of both worlds. You can hear the Red Sox hopefully win, and then hopefully MDI beating Madison. All right, that being said, Coach, tell us about the week and how things are going for the battle for first place.
Yeah, we've had a great week of practice. The kids really excited, for a few reasons. Obviously, probably the most important reason is that, an opportunity to move number one in the conference, versus a very good Madison team who's undefeated right now. And so the kids are excited about that. And it's our homecoming week, so there's been a nice buzz around the school. Kids been excited. There's been, each day there's something different that the kids can dress up for. And today is Twin Day, and my oldest daughter, Madeline, she decided she and her friend Jessica would dress up like Coach Shields, so they're walking around with their football hats, clipboards, and whistles, as well as they borrowed my headsets for pictures. So
that's awesome. That's
awesome. So mocking Dad a little bit. So it's been an exciting week thus far, and getting more exciting the closer we get to kickoff at 7 p.m. Friday night versus Madison. And the kids working hard in practice. They know the importance of the game, and I think offensively we've looked really good. Special teams look really good, and defensively working real hard to try to stop what Madison does. They do a lot of different things. They like to spread you out defensively, and they can run the ball, they can throw the ball. Their quarterback, he can throw and run. Just a real deceptive type offense and a high-powered offense that we are going to try to stop Friday night. So, feel good about practice, and hopefully tonight's pregame practice will go well, and we'll get ready for the game Friday night.
It's an advantage having them come to you. I mean, it's 3 hours from Madison.
Definitely. It's funny, people in our conference, you hear some of the coaches, the way they talk about, oh gosh, we got to go all the way to Bar Harbor. They think it's a 4-hour ride up here, I guess. But it definitely is. I mean, we're used to traveling because we are sort of separated from our conference. Probably our closest trip would be Belfast. But most of the schools that we play are going to be well over an hour and a half anyway. And getting to Madison is, that's a couple hours, if not more, by bus. So we've been down there the last 2 years, as you know. You've been right there with us. So it's nice that they have to travel to us. And, I think the kids will be excited because we'll have our home crowd. It will be homecoming. It should be a big crowd. So I think it definitely is an advantage that we're playing at home.
What are the keys to victory? I mean, the weather's going to be good, so the weathers should not be in the mix at all.
Yeah, keys to victory, really, defensively, we just have to play well to try to stop what they want to do. So far, no team has really been able to stop them. I mean, we talked about this the other day. They put 4 touchdowns on Winslow, a very good Winslow team. So we have to make them earn everything that they get and try to shut them down as much as you can. I mean, you're not going to shut them down completely. They will get in the end zone, I'm sure. But try to stop the big play. Also, turnovers will be a key factor. They beat Winslow, and that night Winslow turned the ball over quite a few times, and they didn't. And we know that after we played Winslow that we turned the ball over, and you just can't beat good teams by turning the football over. So protecting the football is huge. And then special teams will be big as well. I think, we always talk about close games, big games, and it usually comes down to special teams and turnovers. And so we need to execute our special teams and not give up big plays and maybe get some big plays ourselves. So A lot of things have to go our way for sure for us to be competitive in this game, but, the kids are excited for the opportunity.
In the fantasy world, do you try and go ground and pound and try and take time off the clock, or are you just going to play the whatever way you want? I mean, MDI with Colby, with Croy, with everybody else. I mean, you're open to those big plays, but would you rather just kind of go 3-4 yards at a time, take the clock out, and limit their touches to the ball?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked a lot about sometimes our best defense is our offense because we can take time off the clock, and I think any night you can run the football and successfully you continue to do that, but I do believe that we're going to have to open it up a little bit against this team because, you look at the Winslow tape, and Winslow, they had to earn everything they got that night, and, on the ground, it was hard moving the chains, getting first down. So, it's one of those things you don't really know until you get into the game, but, obviously we are run first, pass second type of offense, but we do have the athletes this year that we feel comfortable throwing the football, and we've worked really hard on that. So, it could be one of those nights that we start to feel good about that as well and maybe start doing that. So, going into the game, it's the offensive plan is to attack, and try to get in that end zone as many times as we can.
In terms of winning the coin toss, any thoughts as to whether you want to receive or kick off, or you're going to let the kids decide again?
Yeah, I'll probably let the kids decide, but we may do the Bill Belichick thing. He likes to kick off, and I think in a game like this, because there's going to be high emotion, especially early on, that maybe if we win the coin toss, we do kick off to try to get our defense out there. Sometimes, when teams are really jacked up like that early on in the game, it's easier to play defense than it is offense. But I think I'll let my kids decide, before the game what they want to do.
Now, I'm hearing about a new halftime little ritual. It's eating half bananas, and now it's kind of morphed into orange slices as well.
Yeah, so Inga Kajmar, Spencer Kajmar's mom, she's been bringing some fruit to halftime for us, and so she asked the other day, would we be okay with more fruit and oranges and more bananas, and we said absolutely, and the kids. I didn't even get any up there to John Bass. By the time I got over there, I'm like, where the heck's all the fruit? And the kids had eaten it, and I need my energy too. So
you looked a little peakish in that third quarter the other night.
Yeah, I was hurting bad because I didn't have that potassium. But but in all seriousness, it's it's one of those things that it's going to be good for the kids as far as their health, and they were excited about it, and this is a group here. They do talk about eating healthy. They talk about that a lot, and we discuss it with the kids all the time about what they should be eating and things maybe they shouldn't be eating. But hopefully.
So the candy bar that I eat at halftime is not what's supposed to be eaten.
Yeah, the Snickers bar, even though the commercials make it look like it's going to change the kind of person we are, apparently we're not supposed to be eating those.
Well, and not only is it good, but it's good health-wise, but it's good psychologically. I mean, they've won the last couple of games and played well in the third quarter after eating the bananas and the oranges. Yeah,
I'm a big believer in, basically tradition and that sort of stuff. And, everybody has their idiosyncrasies, you could say. But, I would say that if it's working, why not go with it, Let's not break it, if it isn't, fix it if it isn't broken here. So we'll continue to do that, and hopefully we continue to win.
Exactly. I would imagine that, I would think that Oceanside would be, even though they're playing, they're going to be sending someone down. I mean, this is the top of the cream right now for Class C.
Right. So they may send a scout down to take a look at us. A lot of schools will do that. They are having a great season themselves. They're doing a real nice job down there and winning some big games, and it's getting tight. You look at our conference, and you got Madison and Winslow and MDI, and and then you look at Oceanside and Foxcroft, and even you look at Herman. They have a couple wins this year, and Belfast. You can never count those guys out, and there's just some real good football teams out there right now, and I think it really is anybody's year. It's kind of exciting that way.
Well, it's the top 6 teams that make the playoffs, and the first 2 teams have buys the opening week. That second round's not going to be a cakewalk by any means.
Oh, definitely not. The thing about, if you don't get the bye, that means you're going to have to play a tough team. And, I look at some of the teams that might finish, down there 5th or 6th. And, once again, you're looking at, an Old Town type team who's tough to beat. Or you're looking maybe at a Belfast or an Oceanside or a Foxcroft. I mean, all those teams are going to be tough to beat. So, definitely an advantage to get that bye because you get some rest that week. You already have the win, and you're already in the semis. But
and plus, then you're playing at home.
Yeah, exactly. You get home field advantage. Especially if you're the number 1 seed all the way through. And yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of advantages of being at the top of the heap. Because I think you're right. Probably the biggest advantage is you don't have to travel, and people have to come to you. So it doesn't get any bigger for us and for Madison. This weekend, Madison wants that top seed as well. They will be ready to play. They're going to be excited. They've been invited to our homecoming, and usually that gets teams excited because they want to spoil the party. And but I think for both teams, the most important thing is trying to get that number 1 seed.
Yeah, and I saw this morning that Madison broke into Channel 2's top 10 in the state, so they were ranked number 10.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I didn't see that, but the point
I get up earlier than you do. I mean,
yeah, you probably do.
You need the beauty sleep.
You work a lot harder than I do, and I definitely need the beauty sleep. Just ask my wife.
Yes. All right, so homecoming, it's Hall of Fame induction. There's tailgating going on. There's the band will be there. It's just a great family atmosphere, and you need everybody on the island and those from away to come down there to help support MDI.
Yep, definitely. So if you can get down here Friday night by kickoff, it would be awesome. There's a lot of stuff going on before the game and, during the game, the halftime, ceremony, and hopefully it's a good game to watch. We're hoping. If you can come down, it looks like it's going to be a fabulous night. The weather looks great. And I think it'd just be just a fun night to be part of, with everything going on, plus the football game. I just think it would be worth the time to come down and cheer on the Trojans for sure.
Well, and absolutely, and go down there at 5:30. There's the Ellsworth MDI volleyball. Then you can go to the tennis courts, and then you can go over and watch football. So it's a great night to be down on the island.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a busy night for me because my senior daughter, Madeline, she has senior night for the volleyball team, so I'll be kind of doing double duty. I'm, getting the football team prepared for their game versus Madison, and plus my wife and I will be there for senior night and that ceremony. And my youngest daughter, Delaney, she'll have JV volleyball that night. So just a lot going on. So it's an exciting night for the school.
All right, Coach. Best of luck, and we'll see you on the field on Friday night.
All right, Chris. Thank you.